Hello, hello. Hello, hello. I am so looking forward to doing readings for you guys online. This live stuff punches my ticket, and I hope it works for you as well. Um, this is the regular Wednesday morning live channeling where I channel answers to your questions, and they could be any question you want to ask about world situations, you want to ask about earth conditions, do you want to ask about personal stuff? Good morning, Darla. Yay. Do you want to ask about energy of the future? Like, what is coming with all of this new beginnings energy? And hopefully, y'all got a chance to watch my video on the energy of the new beginnings, new moon. I did that yesterday. No, day before yesterday. I was on the East Coast and got home last night, rather late. But I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. I love doing this, so I wouldn't want to miss it with you. So let's see. I'm looking for those questions, and I love it when y'all just write in and say hello and be part of this because it's. Oh, thank you, Darla. This is what it's all about, really. I am so convinced that being spiritually oriented and being connected to the divine is so important in our lives. And for me, it has brought a sense of belongingness and security and a source of comfort and aliveness and growth, challenge for sure. And the biggest challenge is to get out of my personality, which is always thinking, about lack and loss and, what I don't have. And the guides and the divine are always saying, yes, you do have. Look at what you have. You have lots. You have way, way more than most people, And, to know my purpose in this life is really, really satisfying. To live it and to consciously make that a priority. And that's a lot of why I do the Living as Your Soul writing class, which I really encourage you to do. If you are interested in hearing the messages from your soul, why were you designed this way? Why did your soul decide you needed this experience? Even if it was just heartbreaking or physically demanding or traumatic or just perplexing. Why did your soul decide that was important for you? And we have every right to know these things. And that's also one reason why I'm channeling for you today. All right, Darla asks any messages from Sam. This is her deceased husband. It's been like a year? Something like that. Let me just tune in to Sam. He's very happy. He's like, it's about time. he holds out a hand, saying, it's, I love you. I offer my connection with you. The connection didn't go away with my passing. It only strengthened, and it's changed, but it is changing. And the expansion I've received since my leaving the body has been really amazing. I feel like he's got an even bigger sense of life in general and appreciation for all life forms, plants, animals, microcosm, stars, consciousness in general. I just feel like he has stepped up and out and into even more of what he's capable of holding in his consciousness and in his heart. I think, Darla, you and I know that Sam is so loving. He loves, and it's a big love. It's a very deeply caring love, and it's very committed love. And he says the kids aren't listening to him much, even though he tries to come through. But he is so glad that you listen and you check in, and you're even if you just go to sleep at night and say, "Good night, Sam." You know, he knows it. He feels you. He hears you. He's aware of you and the state of your consciousness. He is very happy that you are happy and that you are doing so much for your health. It's really phenomenal, the distance you've come with your health. He says that's the thing he couldn't do in those last years. He could not make that leap in the health. And it would have meant that he had to be vulnerable on many fronts, in ways that he just wasn't up for allowing. And our culture, as you know, we're trained to turn over our power to somebody whose, first name is doctor. Or someone we think has more knowledge and more wisdom. And when we do that, we often negate our own inner wisdom. And we're trained to do that culturally, societally. And the AMA has made sure that doctors are thought of as gods, super powerful, major breakthrough and big egos and domineering and like big leadership. However, what he's understanding is that quiet little fairy-like angelic voice that comes from within may be the most healing and harmonizing voice and information that one could possibly listen to for one's health. And he is attuning himself to that. And doing this is causing his expansion. And he realizes now he could use that on the earth. But it wasn't in his awareness for his most recent incarnation. And so when he observes what you're doing for yourself and how you're making your life right and making your world fit into what you want, he sees your wings spreading. He sees your growth. He sees your expansion. He also sees your heart. And you have seemed to developed an even greater way of expanding to include more personalities, more experiences. You're developing truly levels of compassion that you never had before, and it is glorious to see. It is glorious to see. And Sam recognizes that, and that's why he wanted to come through today, because he wants you to know that you are seen and known in these realms, in the soul realms, and even in the angelic realms. And don't mind if some of your angels come through as a little bit fierce and possibly slightly feisty. It gets your attention. It's just an effective way to communicate with you, and it may not seem so blissfully spiritual and loving, and everything is just honey and rainbows, but sometimes it's what humans need to wake up. Just a little tap on the cheek to get us to pay attention. So, oh, Mylene, you're here too. I'm so glad to see you. Good morning, Annie. Asking for insight for my friend who is facing many challenges. Am I supposed to connect her for her spiritual healer that popped up on my feed this morning? So it would be helpful to have this friend's name. I need to track in on her and to tune in on her, and if you could put that in the feed, that would be really great in the comments. But right now I'm going to just check your heart and see who you are holding in your heart, because that will probably get me there. Okay. I think you can offer many options. Now, when you make suggestions to people about health and improvement in their happiness setting, the most strong way to do this is to say things like, what has worked for me is, what helped me when I was going through something similar was doing this, connecting with this person, and taking the advice of this person. They know a lot about it, and it seemed to be harmonious with my physical body and with my energetic and mental setting and formatting and my soul formatting. Do not underestimate, Mylene, your own influence on this young woman, and she does have great respect for you. So really come from that and that loving way that you are with others. I mean, you are so sincere, and you're really quite humble the way you present yourself. You don't, fan your own flame, and you aren't really trying to self-aggrandize at all. You're really trying to be useful and of service to those in your sphere. And when you come from that, that is most appealing and allows people to kind of go, oh, well, maybe I have to consider this. And so just coming from I statements, or I know a woman who, or I know a person who utilized this. And so now, if it is a neurological element that she's having difficulty with, I might recommend myself, because I have recovered from having disabling multiple sclerosis, and I have a lot of background in how that works and the higher purpose of that sort of disability and what it gave me. And lately the guides are going, it's all right to talk about that, nudging me. They're really like saying, put it in there, put it in your conversations, because people need to know that it's possible. So I, if you'd like, I'm putting my hat in the ring, and you can give her my name and phone number, or my website address, anniechannels.com. And let me just see that the woman who popped up on your feed, ooh, she's got some depth. She appeals to you. This woman who popped up on your feed appeals to you because you can go there into these spacious zones in the universe easily, and your consciousness can expand to that level. Now, the person that you are looking to recommend her to, that has the need, may not have quite as much flexibility and expansiveness, so it might seem a little bit ungrounded and a little too different for her consciousness. Johanna's. Okay, right. Now, Johannes does take information in mostly through the mind, and so remember that you're talking to a mind, but what you want to do is also aim your communications from the heart so that there is a love core frequency of love surrounded by this mental information. And suggest that Johanna's be open-minded and put this into her back pocket for perhaps later use, or just to check it with her own inner knowingness if this is a fit. And I am seeing you, Mylena, really understanding that it's a love of her and a desire to reduce suffering. Now, understand that Johanna's, I'm trying to say her name, interview was with healer Gregory Cole. I don't see a male necessarily being helpful to Johanna's. I see her needing kind of a motherly nurturance, and I think that the masculinity might be an obstacle. And I have no idea who this gentleman is. I might have to look him up later today if I have the time. Just if it's got your attention, it might be worth looking into. I do respect you for that. But aim that loving communication to Johanna's on a love frequency, and wrap the mental aspects, the informational aspects around that. But say, and let her know what your mission is to ease her suffering. But she has a slight commitment to suffering. Sometimes we have to, we have to suffer. We choose to suffer. We have to go through things that are suffering or cause suffering in many ways. Even more suffering for our the children involved, or other relatives or something. And it's a necessary development of the soul. And I think Johanna's is in that space for now. So perhaps it's understanding and open-mindedness and open-armed and open consciousness, an open heart. That's what gets through most to her, and why she trusts you so much, is that feminine nurturing frequency. Good morning, David, Marshall. This is lovely to have you. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a question. You can write it in the comments. That's the way it works. Darla says, thank you, Annie. I love connecting with Sam through you. Yeah, he was talkative today. and it's nice to hear the acknowledgement he has for you. I know that he has the greatest respect and love for you, Sam. Most certainly. Really, being able to channel him right after he died was really a wonderful experience for me, and it really opened my eyes to who Sam was. And Sam is my uncle, and Darla is my aunt. And I don't know, I'd known Darla very well, and had specific ideas about my Uncle Sam, but maybe they were a little antiquated, not as current as they should be. And they got current after he died, and he came through and delivered all that information to Darla. So, good morning, Davina Hansen. Yay, thank you for being here. I'm wondering who has another question. I'm going to refresh my Facebook page, because that sometimes helps bring up the questions that you're already putting in there that Facebook has not delivered yet. Nothing yet. So you guys, I'm open for questions. I want to channel for you. I need to channel for you. I tell you, when I don't do a reading for a long time, it's like I feel like I'm standing on slippery ground. But when I'm doing readings, I feel so certain. And I have the certainty of the divine. I have the certainty of the guides that are helping you and helping me to be our best selves. And I have the love that they have. This massive, voluminous, compassionate, non-judgmental love. And I Jones for that, So, I want to answer your questions, and there are no bad questions. You are not wrong for wanting to know, why the heck did I choose to be born into a family with a, sister, mother, brother, father, uncle, boss, whatever it is. There's a reason. Your soul has given these experiences to you so that you can grow, so that you can evolve, so that you can expand beyond some of the limitations we've had. Okay, Davina Hansen says, my son was special needs when he was here on Earth. He passed in 2021. I've always wondered if his mind is complete now that he is with Source. Oh, of course. Oh, I'm getting chills. And it is actually Source who is answering your question. I formatted this child in this way to help you to love beyond your limitations of love. And this child caused you to bring forth love that you did not know that you had available to you. It brought forth the compassion and the understanding and the knowingness that you needed to raise this child. And so this child came into your life as an angelic being, and yet I know there were moments when there was a torturer involved, and it was really dicey, and it was very tricky, and it was just made you nuts. So I could completely feel that and get that. And, honor yourself for those reactions. It is very human to have those reactions, and we are not expected to be other than human. We are our souls, but our souls are always evolving, as are our human selves, our personalities. And as our souls evolve, our personalities and human selves evolve. So it's a two-part thing. And as you learn to open to love that was seemingly out of reach, and open a portal within yourself for love to flow through, so that you could meet this child's needs and manage your expectations in a good way. This was the opportunity. The divine wanted you to learn that you could. I literally see you opening yourself in the back of your body, like right behind your heart, like opening a little hole there, and like, okay, put some love in here so I have enough, because I am frazzled, I'm tired, I was up all night, I was, I've been, I've got uncooperative doctors and whatever it was, and for it, you did receive on that level, and that was the divine's higher purpose of creating this whole situation in you. And now you get to operate from there, because your mission is to spread love. Your mission is to be love in the most unappetizing and unloving circumstances. You're really here to expand and explore what are the limitations of love. Now you also will be learning how to explore and expand and embrace your boundaries, because there are some things your love is not supposed to heal. And to be willing to hear that and to know that and to honor that is very important. Know where the openings are. If you have to kind of muscle it or mash it in there, pound it in, there's probably a little more resistance than your love can overcome. So that maybe it's, go elsewhere with that bounty of love. And I get the sense, Davina, that you might want to bring what you have learned into people who are incarcerated or in addicted, like drug rehabs. You need to now put this to work for you, and have some set regular opportunities to express this level of love, because it is a functional level. And basically it's telling people what you did in rotten situations that helped you get through it, and to know that you were being divinely held and divinely guided, and you're opening yourself against all odds, in a way, on a total step out in faith way, to open this back passageway to get to your heart, for the divine to flow through. Now, this is what much of humanity needs. It is relevant. It is needed. It is wanted. And humanity is crying out for more of that. So teach, show, demonstrate, tell stories, give examples. This you got a mission. You got a mission. And if you want to know more, have a reading with me, and we could spell it out. I could help you outline talks or courses or something that you can bring into a set group of listeners and speak into their listening. But it is time to develop this ability into something that can be shared and taught. Good work, Davina. Whoa. Oh, and your son says, I love you so much. Breathe that in, breathe it in, breathe it in, breathe it in. It was a well-coordinated thing between you, your son, and the divine. Fabulous. It's like the waltz done just so gracefully and so beautifully. Really. Okay. You say, yes, I feel myself wanting something different. Different than what you have going on now, or something more than what you were taught through having a son with special needs. I'm not quite clear. Oh, this is your new beginnings. And as such, I recommend that you go to my YouTube channel, Annie Batchelder Psychic and Channel. Oh, thank you. Yeah, well, you're the reason it's amazing, Davina. It's not me. I'm just speaking into it, in ordinary language and carrying the message further and helping you to bring it forth in a more, even more concrete way. And so you're the reason it's amazing. So new beginnings, they're unavoidable right now. We have to take action on these new beginnings. And so on my YouTube channel, that is present. You can see that video. I might even try to put a link to that Here we go. Let me get shareable link and go back here. I'm going to put this into doing all this and channeling at the same time. This is pretty good. It's new moon for, I can't type, new beginnings. Ceremony. So, I can't spell either. That's why I don't do this stuff live. So there's the link. And you can still use this ceremony to strengthen and to, they're using the word glorify. It's really literally to uplift the new beginnings energy that is opening for you. And I'm holding some energy that my recent experience with what the heck is this new beginnings energy brought me. I'm holding the space of this divine portal that allows the development, the clarity, the revealing of the details of new beginnings. And what might be helpful for a lot of you is next Tuesday, I'm opening the Divine Portal membership group, and it's like $44 a month. You get tons of stuff with it. I have so many massive, wonderful ways of expressing this. I'm going to bring to life and light and expand upon the 13 different processes that are in my book. I didn't bring my book over. In my book, Bringing Forth Soul Consciousness, which this group page is titled after, there are 13 open Akashic Records processes that you get to do here. And one of the reasons I love the Akashic Records is it is energy first, information second, because shifts can take place on an energetic level and then kind of filter up into what we think of as our conscious mind, and take on more form and potency or expression, reasonable expression on earth. And so they're wanting me to use more of the material in this 360 or 352 page book that's channeled material and that utilizes the Akashic Records for your well-being and for you to, it opens you to this. This is a wonderful tool. This book and the Akashic Records are wonderful tools, and it's on Audible as an audio book, narrated in my voice, because I had to channel every one of the chapters, and they were channeled by the Akashic Beings of Light, Anubis, the Great Creatress, and every now and then the Angelic Healing Conclave would come in. And, you know, that needed to come through my voice on the audiobook, and that's on Audible. The best recordings are on Audible. It's also in libraries. I'm making it available on the cheap. If you're a library user, you could probably find it in your library, whatever electronic library system you use. Let's see, what do we have here? Davina says thank you. I'm really glad, Davina. I think that was something you really needed to know. Like, things have settled down enough for you to hear that. Because it was tumultuous. It was tumultuous. Davina says, meaning what I do every day. This is a great message for me. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. So basically what I want to offer people, especially with this Divine Portal membership, $44 a month, and you get, ceremonies like this new moon ceremony. You get whatever's I'm being inspired to bring forth. I've got all these beings that I channel, and now the multitudes have been added to this group. So there is a lot of live perceptible energy that I can help you with, and will help you guys bring forth your new beginnings and give you new tools to work with. I have a fabulous list of things that I want to do in this Divine Portal membership group, and it'll be once a month on a Tuesday evening, the last Tuesday in every month, starting the 28th of October at 5 p.m. Pacific, and it'll run till 7 p.m. Pacific at the most. The first thing we're going to do, the opening one, is going to be how to talk to your crystals. Most of us have some rocks, and we know they have special qualities or healing properties, but in my experience, you can talk to this crystal and say, "Hi, my name's Annie, and I want to meet you. Will you talk to me for a minute?" And if this crystal's in your possession, it probably wants to hear from you. It put itself in your path so that you could utilize it, and it's chosen itself to be one of your support systems. And then you ask questions like, what's your specialty? Why do you do this? Where do you want to be kept in my house? What do you need from me? How do you want me to use you? What circumstances? With whom? All of that, So, and that's just the first. Oh yeah, and then we're going to explore a past life where we worked with crystals. And can you feel that energy coming through already? Doesn't it kind of tingle up near the base of your spine, like, ooh, this would be good, because you'll be able to see that you've done this before. It's not a new thing. It might be being reignited at this point in your life, but humans have used amazing earth tools to bring forth spiritual information over the eons, and we might as well access that information and that wisdom as a tool for ourselves for good purposes. But that's going to be the opening, the first day of the Divine Portal. And I think you can go on my website now and just sign up to be a member of the Divine Portal. $44 a month, $44 a month for a giant load of spiritual upliftment and energy. And then you can go back in the portal and review the videos, and because they'll get put up week after week. And you'll also be able to do Q&A with me. Like, I had this image and I don't understand it. Does this make sense to you? And what do you, like, we will help each other. We will help each other learn and grow on this path. If you want the big membership, it's $64 a month, and that gives you discounts on readings, and discounts on any 60-minute reading that you want. Whether it's an Akashic Records reading, maybe you want an Anubis channeling that goes through your chakras and organizes and cleanses and informs you about a whole lot of stuff. Anubis knows stuff. I'm like, oh, you know that. How'd you know that? That's stuff that's not in my head. It's not in my experience base. but Anubis will bring forth for you. You could have a divine energy healing. You could have a real estate reading. We could open the records of your property, wherever you're living, or if you want to sell it, or if you're thinking about buying. We can go through up to 3 addresses in one sitting and open the records of these particular properties that are on the market for sale, and look at whether this is an energetic fit for you. If it's going to help bring forth your innate skills, gifts, and talents, then yeah, that's a good fit. If it's going to be a little challenging and it's going to be mostly work, or you're going to be swimming uphill all the time, might not be the best place for you. Anyway, and you deserve to know that. But you get it's about a 15% discount on readings, which right now are at $204 for anything 1 hour, except you can have a 1 hour reading by phone. You don't get a recording, nothing on Zoom. It's by phone. You get all the energy and information for $148, and I am loving doing those because I don't have to have my eyes open. I can have my eyes closed. I can be watching the energy and seeing the images that I'm being presented with, and it just enriches the whole reading. It gets me more deeply into the energy of the reading, which is what you're paying me for, really. That's where the rubber meets the road and where the transformation takes place. So let's see. Okay, we are grooving here on the Bringing Forth Soul Consciousness group page. You guys are rocking it today, and the energy is so good today. It's just coming through beautifully. And I got off the plane last night. I got home like at 11 o'clock at night from the East Coast, so it was like 2 a.m. there, and I was awake before the alarm. So I know there is work to do here and fun to be had, because the energies are so fun. We've got to have a good time while we do this, folks. We have got to have a good time while we do this. Walk this earth, laugh, sing, dance, play, feel your body, swim, stretch. I need to do more of that. Stretch. Reach. So let's see. I did put the tip thing in the comments earlier today. If you feel motivated to send me some money for the reading, I want to second that and encourage that behavior, because it takes money to run this show. I need to pay rent. I need to pay for my utilities. I need to pay for my mortgage. I now have a mortgage. I bought a house with my brother, and for our mother to live in and for us to live in. And so taking a leap in my adulting here and late in life. So if you feel like sending me money on Venmo, Annie-Bachelder, or Ko-Fi at Annie Channels, Ko-Fi at Annie Channels, Ko-Fi with a K. You can use any of those methods. Heck, mail me a check. I'm fine with that. I take whatever is a form of financial remuneration. I'm open. Anyhow, enough of that. And the other thing that's happening, in addition to next week's Tuesday opening of the Divine Portal, is Monday is the first of 7 classes called Living as Your Soul Writing Workshop. And this is based on chapter 15 of the same name, Living as Your Soul. And it goes way deeper than chapter 15. and you really get super good skills and super good messaging from your soul, and you become partners with your soul, so that you can really work in sync with your soul and not be guessing so much. You know what I mean? You want some facility. You want some mastery in your ability to talk to your soul and to receive communications from your soul, because your soul planned this whole thing with the divine's approval. That divine rubber stamped this life plan for you, so you might as well know what it is and why it has been constructed the way it's been constructed, and how to work with it in the largest and most expansive way. So lots of opportunities, and you can find all the information you need on my website, anniechannels.com, and I'll probably put the link to the website in the comments, so that you can catch up with that. All right. Refresh the page just in case somebody slid a late question. You know, say if Facebook is kind of awkward. It only shows me like the most recent 4 comments, and sometimes I go back and look at them, and there's a lot more questions in there that I didn't get while doing the live. But I know that I'm talking to the people I'm supposed to be talking to, because you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for your divine alignment with this stuff, this kind of energy and information. You know, just wouldn't there'd be no magnetism here. All right. Let me bring through the divine energy at the Divine Healing Conclave. Greetings. We embrace all of you in every way. We are one of the team members, as it were, to help you in this life. If you need physical healing, if you need emotional reconstructing, if you need to be energetically rewired, we are the ones to do that for you. And we do it with 100% pure divine light. And this speaks to your physical setup, and it speaks to your chakras, and it speaks to everything that flows out from there, which is everything that you are physically, energetically, emotionally, spiritually. That's how we serve you in that way, in our divine healing sessions. And we have brought through this energy today because it is easy to pierce the earth veil now and have our energies complement you on your path easily, effortlessly. We sort of knock suffering out of the field so that you can have a better time in this life, in your physical body, in your energetic setting, as a soul in a physical body. We make this possible for you in a greater way. You already have a little taste of it. And hopefully you are picking up the vibrations that we are radiating right now for you. And we thank you for listening. It is our pleasure to serve you in this way. We bid you adieu. Right, folks, that's the show for today. Thank you so much. See you next week. Thank you. Don't be a stranger. Go to my website, sign up for readings, and do subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. Thank you.